highlight was the site of Gros Piton on the way from Choiseul into Soufriere, because the light today just made it look even more magnificent than normal.
Oh, nice. For listening purposes, I will let you introduce yourself to the listening audience.
Great. Well, yeah, my name is Lesley Saunderson. I am the resident British Commissioner here in St. Lucia. So my office is in Castries, but I like to get out and about. And I've been here doing this job for the last 2.5 years already.
Oh, like any and everything, we know we have challenges on a day-to-day basis. And especially as a female, how you navigate, how you rise above the occasion.
I think, gosh, that's a great question. I've been very lucky in my working life, I think, in that I've always worked with great teams. And I should say, actually, the British High Commission team here is all female. So we're there, we support each other, we help each other, we encourage each other, mentor each other. And I think that helps then in going out and about and doing the job that we do. We're not shy to talk about the fact that we're an all-female team. We recognise the importance of diversity in any organisation. It's good for the organisation, it's good for productivity, it's good for camaraderie, it's good for development and strategic direction and everything. So, and we feel that across the network that we have here in this region of our wider team who are not based in St. Lucia. So we've got an office here in Castries, but we've actually got a lot more people that work with us on the work that we're doing here in St. Lucia, especially in the trade and the development side. And a lot of them are women too. Yeah.
Oh, nicely said. With that, what was the specific visit of being here in our picturesque town and even with this organization?
Well, as I said, I like to get out of Castries regularly. I think it's really important to sort of be in touch and sort of have the pulse of people who live outside of the capital. So today I'm just out and about meeting people from various civil society organisations, the amazing Hotel Chocolat, which it was a British investment here in St. Lucia that we're very proud of, and obviously Home to Helen's Daughters, who we've partnered with as well. And I couldn't not come to Soufriere and drop in and see the Soufriere Regional Development Foundation, who've been a great partner and friends to us as well. So thank you for letting me interrupt your broadcasting schedule today.
It's always a pleasure. A little for our audience, what exactly do you guys do?
What do we do? That's we in the High Commission are responsible for all aspects of bilateral relations with St. Lucia. So that's the political relationship, the development relationship, trade, and also a bit to do with tourism. Obviously, you'll know that British tourists are one of the biggest groups of tourists that come to St. Lucia every year. So some of our work, fortunately, just a small part of it, is helping those who might have some problems. But the biggest chunk of our work is around the development partnerships that we have here in St. Lucia. I could talk at great length about the number of things that we've been involved in. But a lot of what we do with the government of St. Lucia is around resilience for small island developing states. So infrastructure resilience, human capacity resilience, and such like. And sometimes, that resilience isn't always obvious. But if I mention one of the big projects at the moment, which I know will be of interest to the residents of Soufriere, the Millennium Highway and the West Coast Road. So that's an infrastructure project. But the resilience is a huge part of it because we're all dealing with climate change. And so the design of this road, the upgrading of the road, is to make it more climate resilient and durable and a safer road for many, many, many years to come. So, as I say, sometimes what we talk about in terms of climate and resilience isn't always what we think of. But another aspect of that is what we've been doing with health centres across the country, making them climate resilient as well and safe, and also, modern places to work, so that in the event of a major weather incident like a hurricane, the health centres can open up again straight away, and that they have running water, they have electricity and such everything you need for a health centre to operate quickly in the event of an emergency and a disaster, and things like the fridges have been still working so that medicines have been kept at the right temperature and such like. So a lot going on in the development cooperation space. See, I can talk quite a lot about it if you want. Young people, we've been helping lots of young people get through technical and vocational education and training. In the last few years, about 2,500 young people have gone through various courses in hospitality or mechanics and fisheries and IT and bookkeeping. But on the education side, I would also like to just mention, of course, we have a scholarship scheme for those who are aiming for a master's degree. That scholarship scheme has been running for 40 years now. And we've had some great scholars, graduates through, including quite a number from Soufriere. So a big shout out to them if they're listening today.
Definitely. So kudos to that as well. We can agree to date we've seen the impacts of COVID, which did leave such a blow to the small island developing states. In your own opinion, how or what strategies you think can help cushion, what we're still reliving?
Yeah, the COVID was obviously an experience that we've all learned a huge amount from in terms of how we adapt and how we manage economies and the interconnectedness of economies that we already knew about, of course. Obviously, we've been following what St. Lucia has been doing in other small island developing states in terms of recovering. We've actually created a different department now in our own ministry in London for small island developing states, so that we can help to build our own expertise, so that when we are partnering, that we have a better informed partnership. Obviously, things like trying to diversify the economy to make it more resilient. There's that word again, resilience. We're looking at that. And so last year, we increased our staffing in the office to add a trade officer, recognizing that trade and earning foreign exchange through international trade can help boost an economy and a government's budget as well. So we're hoping that takes a bit of time, but hoping that might generate some new opportunities for us all in the future. And of course, we have an economic partnership agreement with St. Lucia, with CARIFORUM, actually, with the region, which allows for duty-free access for exports for most goods and services into the UK. So we've been working a bit with Export St. Lucia on that to try and raise awareness so that people can capitalise on that opportunity as well. Perhaps it's something they didn't know about, but would like to know more about, and we can try and help signpost and share information on that.
Which is true. And given the fact that we're actually in the festive season, what can be expected for persons as well?
We've been expecting a lot of British nationals to be coming here. We know this is the high
cruise side of it, yes.
And then the flights as well, fly-in tourists as well. So in terms of British persons in St. Lucia, we can expect an increase over this season. I know that the authorities here, the Ministry of Tourism, the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, the Hospitality and Tourism Association have been working incredibly hard to market St. Lucia as part of the post-COVID recovery. And they were in the UK just last month, the month before, doing a big showcase. And I'm sure that's going to have attracted a lot more people to this beautiful island.
Excellent. What do you envision 2024? I know it's full of promises.
2024, gosh, no crystal ball, of course, but it's a year of infrastructure here in St. Lucia. So we are very proud to be a partner in that major project that I mentioned already. We're looking forward to the West Coast Road parts of the infrastructure project starting, so that the journey down here will be even more enjoyable than it is at the moment. But yes, we've got lots of ideas in terms of how we can keep building those partnerships and relationships with trade, with various areas of cooperation. We're in a new funding cycle with the UK government, so we're very much in touch with the various agencies here about what are the areas of priority that the UK can help to to work with in the years to come.
Apart from the agencies you made mention of in terms of partnership, do you have any interest in expanding to other?
Always, always. Key thing for us, of course, is not to duplicate what other people are doing already. So a large part of the conversations and research that we'll be doing in the coming weeks and months is about, well, what are the priorities? What's in the government's medium-term development strategy? What are other people doing? And what value can the UK bring and add? Particularly perhaps in the security sector, which I know has been in a lot of people's minds. And where we've had some very strong cooperation in the past, and we're keen to identify what more we can do there.
It is a minute after 1 in Surface and Lucia, of course, the Eastern Caribbean. A great pleasure and discussion thus far. Is there any other thing you would like to let the listening audience know at this very moment?
I'd like to thank you and the people of St. Lucia for listening, and the people of Soufriere for listening. It's obviously, I've been here several times, but I really appreciate that you've let me drop in on you today. And I hope to come back again, if that's all right.
I'm looking forward to that as well. Let me take this opportunity to extend a great season to you and your department. Continue the good work. God bless. And of course, I will host you sooner than you think.
Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to all of you when it comes.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. 88.5 Soufriere FM, 2 minutes after the hour of 1 p.m. It's Surface and Lucia, and of course the Eastern Caribbean. Taking the time out to apologize for just a slight delay. However, we will present you with the newscast followed by the weather report. Please stay tuned. Thank you so much. This has been just an impromptu discussion with Miss Lesley Saunderson, UK British High Commissioner. Again, she paid a courtesy visit to the beautiful, picturesque town of Soufriere and the SRDF. Immense gratitude. Thank you.
Soufriere FM presents its Stimulus News Package. This feature incorporates the local, national, and international aspect on an informative platform.